Bears, raccoons, that are right, Vince, raccoons. Skunks, mountain lions, bobcats, snakes, and all kinds of birds live here. There are large families of ravens and wild turkeys that make their rounds on our land pretty much every day, all year round. I had noticed the large group of turkeys gobbling their way up from where they nested each night in the towering dead ponderosa pines that ran along the creek. This year they were about 20 strong. I remember the frosty cold that morning as I made my first stop at the edge of the field. We had done a winter burn pile there only a few days earlier. I had felt compelled at the time to bless the fire, wanting to emphasize leaving behind the old and ushering in the new. I had planned to use some of the ash from the blessed fire to add more potency to our endeavor. I bent over to gather the ash in a jar, and when I stood back up and turned around, what I saw was a little bit more than strange. The flock of turkeys had approached me quietly and stood maybe 15 feet away from me. This was highly unusual for the birds, as they tend to be skittish and easily frightened, scattering at the slightest sound or movement. The birds all stared at me, as if they were waiting for something. Wild birds can act like this if you feed them regularly, and they recognize you, but I had never once fed these turkeys. I had a funny kind of creeping feeling as I stepped forward slowly, that the ritual had begun the moment I had set foot outside that morning. The turkeys lined up behind me in a group and followed me slowly, like a strange procession. I kept looking back to see if it was actually happening. It was. And they followed me closely for the entire length of the field, which ended at my sister's small cottage. Now, I've done enough of this kind of thing in the past to realize that when you are listening to the energy of the land, if you are sensitive to it, it will let you know when you are doing what it wants. I feel like this kind of thing goes way back and sets deep in our bones that we aren't always meant to move the land. More often than not, the land moves us. When we learn to move with the land, we can connect to something deep, instinctive, and primal. I also think that if you grow up in a specific place that still has enough wildness to it, where the nature around you is still the dominant force, the land can more easily speak to you and even protect you at times. It knows you just like the animals that live on the land come to know you too. This was what went through my mind as I stopped at the path to my sister's house. The turkeys slowly dispersed, and as I walked away, I felt a sense like the spirit of the land was telling me it was watching me. I had only wished that my sister had been watching and had gotten a photo of the turkey procession, so you would know I'm not making this up. Our ritual went beautifully, even though we shivered through the whole thing.